Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So firstly, in today's video we're going to be running through my 12-month update of my Turkish hair transplant. Now I'd like to very kindly ask you first that you like this video because it helps me out, and secondly subscribe to the channel as well, because I probably will be doing some more updates through this year and different things that I'll be doing to make sure that I get the most out of the procedure. Now during the filming of this video we are still in the current pandemic of COVID-19, so I thought it was a good time as any to do a hair transplant update because it's pretty much overgrown, it's pretty wild, hair's everywhere. I haven't had a shape up or a neaten up as I had in some of the other videos. So basically I look like a bit of a hobo and it's very natural, so I thought it was an ideal time to show you. Plus I've just done a 1.5 mile run this morning in under 9 minutes 30, just saying. Now what I'll do is I'll show you some different areas of my head. So quickly, the front of my hairline is now, I don't know if you can see that well. I know it's quite scruffy at the moment and where that is. So obviously you can see where the hairline is now, where it's been implanted. And for me, I don't think it's completely, I think it completely looks natural. It doesn't look unnatural, which is what I was looking for. So when I first went into the surgery with Dr. Carr, as you've probably seen on some of the previous videos, he drew several lines across my head and I was able to choose where I would like the hairline to. For example, it would look pretty ridiculous if I would have had my hairline down somewhere in my forehead and had a 2mm gap between that and my eyebrow. Now I thought I'd also just give you guys a bit of a run through the other areas of my head, because you could probably see from the 3-month marker that I still had some scarring around the back of my head, which is probably more difficult to see now due to the hair. So I just wanted to show you guys how the donor area has also grown back. So thank you to my kind assistant who has kindly showing you the back of my head, and obviously as you can see now that area is completely covered up, so it's going to be dependent on how long you have your hair. Obviously now at this point my hair is very overgrown and the neck hair is growing back quite quickly, so it's covered that donor area up very well. In this video I'm going to run through some of the questions that I've had and answer some of the questions such as price, the company that I went with, how long do you have to wait before you work out, the products that I'm still using now a year on, how long does it take to see progress, and obviously if I would recommend the company that I went with. However, before that, now as a kid I always wanted to be kind of suppose like David Beckham. You know, the blonde highlights, the long locks, the cool hair, basically just look pretty sick. So today I thought fuck it, we'll buy a box of women's hair dye because Tesco don't sell men's hair dye. I bought a L'Oreal Paris one Preference. It's almost like a platinum type of colour, and on the back of the box it basically tells you if you've got dark brown to soft black hair, do not use. So this bit's probably going to be quite interesting, so pretty much let's go.
Oh, am I doing the hot? I'm doing everything, aren't I?
Yeah, but if we just like get a little bit lighter towards the bottom, like not as heavy, if that makes sense. Okay. Just do what you can, not that hard.
Heavy blonde on top, fade into dark.
I'll have a skin fade please. Just so everyone knows, Meg and Lucy are not trained professionals, so what the outcome is going to be of this.
I actually used to do mine all the time. I did, but I think it's a little bit different.
This is a little bit different.
Because I was dyeing it a slightly darker shade of brown, whereas this is...
But we're going to do this as a time lapse. So in 3, 1, go.
Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
So this video is now a week on because we've been through the rigmarole of dyeing my hair I think 3 times and also using a toner to try and get the colour out that I didn't want. So without further ado, the unveiling. Is everyone ready for this? And I'll put a picture of what I was going for. I was going for the cun, and it ended up with a cross between Boris Johnson and Draco Malfoy. Now, it's kind of like I feel like one of those cartoon characters off Tekken, like Neuro or Goro is his name, and it's just like a big ball of ginger cotton. But you win some, you lose some. It's actually all getting shaved off this week, so if you want to know what it looks like now, my head will be, well, when my head will be completely shaved, Then I'll be putting a YouTube video up next week on something, and you'll be able to see what it looks like and where my hairline's up to when my head is completely shaved anyway. But for now, I'm gonna rock the Ron Weasley look. So first, I just wanted to talk you through the procedure itself, what it included step by step. And then what I'm gonna do is just quickly run through some of the questions I've had for you guys on Instagram, what you wanted to know about the hair transplant procedure in Turkey. So firstly, once you arrive at the surgery, what you're going to do is you're going to go in and fill out some paperwork, but the first part of the procedure is going to be collecting the grafts from the donor area. So this is going to be stage 1. Once all that is done, then you'll go into stage 2, which is then counting the grafts. The grafts are taken from the patient, i.e. me, and separated and counted as triple, double and single grafts. While this is going on, you can take a break, go and have something to eat. I had a bit of a chicken sandwich butty, watch a film. I also had a podcast in when this was going on and ended up falling asleep. It was that painless. Stage 3 is where they do the micro slit incision. Sounds pretty strange and technical, but basically it's just a surgical method that is able to duplicate the alignment and the distribution of your hair as it occurs naturally. So maximising the coverage that you get. The angle and the direction of the hair growth can be precisely controlled through this, so allowing the transplant in the areas previously regarded as difficult or unstable for hair transplant surgery to actually happen. Now, once this has been done, this is where all the magic happened at stage 4, and this is the graft placement. So the collected grafts that you've had from the back of the head are then placed at the correct angle via the incision and in the proper direction for the maximum effect and the best hair growth. Now, once this is all done, you will go back to the hotel and rest up for a day, and then the next day you will go in and have, the next couple of days you'll go in and have the area washed and cleaned up, the bandages and fresh bandages put on to make sure that everything is healing correctly. The doctors will then see you again just to make sure that everything has gone to plan, and then you will pretty much be on your way. Now, one thing to mention is after this has happened is that you will get a lot of support and help following, and a lot of instruction post with the tablets and the information pack that you will get. But after that, the day after the procedure, I was pretty much walking around Istanbul, did a bit of a shop, walking around for a couple of hours. It's not like you just undergone major surgery and you're unable or incapable to do anything. So now I'm going to dive into some of the questions, and the first one that I've had is, can you work out after the procedure? So the recommended guidance for once you've had the transplant done is to wait generally like 4 to 6 weeks. I think I waited 3 weeks, and I did 3 weeks worth of walking, and then after that I went back into the gym, I think at week 4, and just started working at really low loads, only using cable machines, doing like 50% of the load that I usually would, and then I generally just gradually increased it. So maybe I think I went to week 5 after the procedure and worked at like 60%, 70%, 80%, and just built myself back up over like a 2-month period. So the wait isn't actually that long. Just keep active via walking and doing other little bits. The main thing is not the sweat that actually gets into the area. It's the heightened blood pressure and the pressure that goes to your head whilst you're weightlifting or doing exercise that you want to try and avoid. So question number 2, which company did you go with and why? So I went with a company called GMH/Cosmetica, which is the surgery where the whole thing took place in Turkey. The reason I went with GMH was because I'll leave a link to their website and their profile and Instagram page so you can look at some of their transformations. So I went with them because they've had a lot of good results, which is obviously the first thing that you want to consider. The second thing is that it had a couple of people that I knew previously who had gone there, i.e. friends who had recommended them. I'd also seen like a couple of celebrities like Callum Best and a few other people who had been there, so it was a trusted source. But I think the most important reason for me is why I went there was because there's a guy called Mike who runs GMH, and I can honestly not recommend him enough. The first time I inquired, he gave me like a full run through what I'd need, how much I'd need, how long it'd take, and then the guy actually rang me up and spoke to me for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, didn't even know who I was. I just felt really valued and reassured as a customer going forward of what I was going to get and who I was being looked after by. So couldn't recommend them enough, purely due to the people and the members who make up the brand and how they look after you as an individual. So question number 3, I knew this one would always come up, how much did the procedure cost you? Now, it's been a year since I've got mine done. Now, when I got mine done, there's 3 different packages that you can go for. I went for the middle package, which I believe was £2,200, was it? £2,200, and I did pay for my procedure. It wasn't hashtag gifted or an ad, I actually paid for it out of my own money. So again, you can take more trust in what I'm saying because I actually paid for the procedure. It wasn't something that was free. And in this package, I think the most important part for the middle package that I got was due to the pain-free needles, and these are the injections that go into the head before you get anything else done to make sure it's completely numb before the anesthetics and stuff go in, and it does make a really big difference. I had a friend who went over to the same company and got his done and did not get the pain injections first, and he said it was just absolute agony. So definitely recommend going for the middle package or higher to make sure that you get those pain-free injections before the procedure actually even takes place. Next question I've had is, how long did it take to see progress through hair growth and the procedure? So in regards to progress, the first couple of weeks are just your recovery stage. So there's going to be swelling's coming down, scabs are coming off, you're starting to get some regrowth. I'd say because you get to a certain phase where they call it ugly duckling phase, which is probably around month 3, where some of the hair starts to drop out and the new real hair growth starts to come through. So between like month 3 to month 6 is where you get a lot of results, and then following that up until 12-month mark of where I'm up to now is where it flourishes, and month 12 is realistically where you should be at a real just solid stage of the hair and you're not going to notice too much change. Next question is, how much did you get done and how many grafts? So with my hair, I just had the front done. So I had a section, which I'll pop up on the screen as well, where I just had the front section marked out. I just wanted the front hairline bringing down a little bit more, so it was a bit fuller. I didn't have anything done at the back or the sides or the crown, and I had a total of 3,500 grafts done, which I had done in one sitting. It took most of the day to do, but you can have more grafts done. You may go over, or you may have an estimate done of how many grafts you need, and it may be split over 2 different sessions. So it just depends how much balding or baldness you've got over your head, and if you don't need it done just at the front or the crown or different areas of your head. Okay, next question is, what has it done for your confidence and your expectations? So my confidence, one of the things to probably note is that I'd never had a shaved head since I was about 10 years old, just due to the pure fact that I was quite conscious of the area of the front of my head and where my hairline was, especially with being on camera quite a lot. I mean, I was quite a confidence and reassured guy anyway, but this just took my confidence up with something that I was a little bit aware of due to being on camera a lot. And even like now, next week, I'm just going to shave my hair again because I have complete confidence. I feel a lot better when I go to the hairdresser and get a haircut, because I'm not always thinking about, do I need to get a haircut to brush over certain areas, or if I'm outside in the wind, is it going to just start blowing everywhere and blow hairs out of place and have areas of my head exposed, which I'm a little bit conscious of. So in regards to my confidence, it just made me a lot more comfortable in anywhere that I'm going, at any place, anytime, and made going to the hairdresser, I suppose, a lot more enjoyable. So next question is, did you have any pain or numbness? So the pain element, like I said on one of my other videos before, I've genuinely had more painful procedures when I've gone to the dentist. Because I had those pain-free injections done, I genuinely felt nothing through the procedure, apart from like, it felt like a thumb just pressing on my head all the time. This is why when I had my podcast in, I ended up falling asleep for a good couple of hours of the procedure where they're putting an insert in the grafts. So I definitely recommend going for the middle package or above, just to make sure it's completely pain-free. It's just more awkward than anything. I didn't have any pain the days following. Again, it was just the awkwardness of having to sleep and lie down on your back for like 7 days. But again, what you've got to weigh up is the benefits of it just versus being uncomfortable for a couple of days. With the numbness, the numbness lasted about a month. So again, like say if you were to press the foreheads, like when you've had those injections done in your teeth and you can't feel too much, that numbness started to go between month 1 and month 3. But again, everyone's different. It's not something that affected me at all. I mean, now I can pretty much feel everything, so everything starts to equal out over time. It's just again a waiting game, and making sure moving forward you're just wary of that. Next question is, if you were to get it done again, would you go to UK or Turkey? So I wouldn't go with any other company that I went with, which was GMH. So for that reason, I'd go the Turkey every time. One is cheaper. I paid £2,200. That included my stay in an amazing hotel, my food during the hotel. The only thing I had to pay for externally was flights. Now one of my mates paid, I think it was £10,000 in the UK. So 4 times, quick maths, what I paid, just a little bit more. And his results were, I wouldn't even say they're as good as mine or around the same as mine. So I'd definitely recommend going abroad for it. For that reason, obviously you just want to make sure you pick someone you can trust, and that's why I wouldn't recommend anyone but GMH to get it done by. Okay, next question is, can you wear caps or headwear following the procedure? So as you've probably seen, I'll pop up an image again, the days following the procedure, you have to wear like a bucket hat. So one of those proper Scouse hats, old school ones. And again, you might look a bit stupid for a couple of days, but all you really ask because you're going to get a good result from it. So again, it's just being a little bit uncomfortable for a couple of days wearing something which makes you look like a bit of a prick, and then you can wear other stuff. I mean, you're probably best not wearing anything which is going to touch the front of your head. So sometimes, I think it was like 3 weeks after, I'd wear a cap and just place it on top. Again, as long as it wasn't touching the front area too much, then you're pretty much okay with it. But after that, I've still wore caps every now and again, but I tend to try and not wear them as much because sometimes caps can start to cause wear, even if you haven't had a transplant, just the front area. So you can wear caps, it's completely up to you, but once you've had it done, I mean, just enjoy the extra growth. So last question, I have another question which says future, and then says continuing medication and anything to be aware of. So one of the things that I have done and one of the things that I would recommend is that it's like when, for example, you get a new car. You can get a new car, you can use it, it's great, but it's about how you look after it, not the actual purchase itself. And it's exactly the same with the transplant. A lot of the guys when I was there just didn't look after it properly. Most of the gain and the growth will come post-procedure. So you need to make sure that you're looking after it, you're wary of it, you're not knocking it and stuff in the first couple of weeks. You want to make sure that you wash it properly, you're using the shampoos and conditioners, and you follow up with all the medication and the guidance that recommended that come from the company. Now I've actually just had another box delivered from GMH of some capsules that I'm still using even 12 months on. So these are the new ones that they brought out, which Density Plus. So I'm using an extra strength biotin, which is really important. So I'll take one of those every day. I'm also using this extra strength growth formula. Again, take one a day. So that's got like zinc, biotin, selenium, copper, a couple of other elements which are good for hair growth. Also just using, I think I'm pronouncing this right, it's saw palmetto, which is a food supplement. Again, one a day, which is good for hair growth. Again, you can pick, I think you can pick all these up now from GMH. So again, I'll link the website below so you can pick up some of those capsules, and also link the social media page below as well. At the moment, on top of that, I'm also still using the hair wash that was given to me by GMH and Cosmetica, and I'll continue to do so just because, again, it's that looking after it stage. If you want to get a good result or you want to get the best result, then make sure you're doing everything possible with these little things just to make sure that you're getting the most growth out of the hair. The other product that I am using at the moment, which I usually steal from Lucy's wardrobe, Moroccan oil. Again, just gives the hair some moisture. It wasn't until about 8 months after that I actually started using hair product. I think it's recommended 6 months after that you can use hair product. So I was using just like VO5, just some texturizing stuff, a bit of hairspray every now and again, just to style my hair. But in the first 6 months I didn't use anything, just to allow it to grow properly without any chemicals or any other stuff in my hair itself. It's always just again, better to be safe than sorry. So now I'm going to wrap this one up there, guys. Again, if you want to see next week, I'll be shaving this kind of gingery cotton ball of mess off next week, so you'll be able to see next week's video where I'll have a complete shaved head again. You'll be able to see where the hairline's up to and my donor area. If you have any other questions that I haven't covered in this video today, then obviously just feel free to drop me any questions in the comments below, and I will go through and try to answer them all. Alternatively, you can drop over to my Instagram page, which is @mycoachbenji, and I'll drop that link again in the description box if you want to ask me anything on there, because I'm sometimes a little bit more responsive there. And apart from that, guys, please, 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 if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, then please give it a like and a thumbs up. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, then make sure you hit that red button below and subscribe, because I'll be putting a couple more updates up over this year, of a few other bits that I'll be doing with my hair just to make sure that I get the maximum growth from it. And apart from that, I'll catch you in the next one.